spent over 10 minutes with Stephanie, the widow, in private, and then he went out into the main hall where the casket was laid, and where police officer Dylan's body was laid, and he and Stephanie prayed together. They talked about what a great guy Jonathan was, and then President Trump went. He spent with the family, he offered his condolences, and the family asked him to sign a mass card. He sat down, signed the mass card.
All right, look like we live. We live. All right. Good evening, everybody. What's up? Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Coming to you live once again. It's Thursday night. So you know we're talking about the money game book. So brothers and sisters come in, leave your comments below. Because I want to go back and read them so we can have a dialogue, because we're going to continue this conversation on into the future. All right, so get comfortable, lean back, as they say, get comfortable, and let's spend about 10 or 15 minutes together so I can go and break my fast. I broke my fast, but go and eat my meal, my Maghrib meal, my iftar. All right. So, brothers and sisters, welcome. Like I said, welcome to the Money Game book review. We're going to talk about this book, right? So we can learn as Black people how to win and dominate at the money game. That's what this book is about. Just want to do a quick overview. One thing that I've learned many years ago, about 30 years ago, back in college, I read a book on how to make straight A's, right? And it taught me how to approach learning, how to approach, studying, not in the whole details of it and the intricacies of it and that kind of stuff, but it's taught me how, when you get a book, right? How do you get familiar with the book? How do you get to know it? How do you understand what it is that you're about to embark upon? Just don't jump into the book. So I do that often. I do that every time I get a new book. I familiarize myself with the book before I get into the content of the book. All right. So I can get some kind of an idea, so I can start massaging my mind and conditioning my mind to receive the information that's in the textbook. Because no matter what kind of book it is, unless it's a novel, a fiction book, right? Nonfiction books is real beneficial for you to understand something about the writer, the background of the writer. That's why you have in all nonfiction books, and probably even fiction books, I don't know, I don't read fiction books, but you read about, it's a section called About the Author. Okay, as I said before, most of them are page and a half. Mine is like 4 pages, all right? Because I'm not an author, right? Oh, Daryl, you're an author. Yeah, I'm an author now because I published a book, right? But I'm not an author. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, or an author. I'm not a writer. I don't write. It's not like I, always loved to write, always loved English, always loved stories and novels and movies. That's not me. What I tell people is I'm not an author per se. I'm a marketer that uses a book to market and communicate my message. Assalamu alaikum, brother Damon, to communicate my message. So I'm a marketer that happens to use a book to communicate my message. That's what I am. All right. So we want to spend a few minutes right now so I can go and break bread. The content, because that's one of the things you want to do. You want to look at the front, read the back of the book, right? You want to open it up, right? And go through the table of content. This is a book I gave my mother. Look at the table of content, and you just read through the table of content. Because if you're talking about non-fictional books, I learned this many years ago. When it comes to non-fictional books, you may read it from cover to cover, but it's better use, if you will, as a reference book. Because who has time, right, to read every book from cover to cover? And just because you can't read it from cover to cover doesn't mean you say, well, I'm not going to buy any more books because the last 4 books I haven't finished reading. Not when it comes to non-fictional books. Non-fictional books, self-development, business books, things of that nature, they're better. I say better, but in an extent that you can't read and you shouldn't read every page, you can use it as a reference, So you identify if it's a book that you can use as a reference, a book that has content in here that would be meaningful to you right now and in the future. Right now and in the future, you look at the table of content and you skim through that. That's what I do. And if nothing on the cover jumps out, the title doesn't jump out, which it should, the money game, so black people can win and dominate. See, that should jump out. The image should jump out. That's what I say. I'm a marketer. It should jump out. A lot of people have themselves on the cover, right? That's not going to grab you as much as this golden chess piece on top of money. Okay, so let's just cover the table of content real quick. I'm doing it pretty quick because there's 5-6 pages. So, right, you look at the way that my book is outlined, or the way it's laid out. Right, it starts with acknowledgement, then it goes into about the book. See, it's good to read about the book based from the author's perspective. That way you won't go into the book with preconceived notions. See, if you just look, the money game, I make $200,000 a year, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You're going in with the wrong mentality. Or you do the opposite. I'm broke. Money is going to teach me how to make money. I need money. Going to teach me how to make money. So you're going in with preconceived ideas. And you can be easily disappointed that way. Okay? So let's look at it real quick. There's 19 chapters. So you just want to flip through it, right? 19 chapters. And then a bonus chapter, then there's a resource section, then there's a Black Economic Empowerment pledge, and then it talks about the author. Okay, so 19 chapters plus a bonus. Chapter number 1 is how to play the money game. Chapter number 2, the money game pillar number 1. What is it? Income. Chapter 3, the money game pillar number 2, expenses. Okay, chapter 4 is pillar number 3 is credit. Chapter number 4 is pillar number 4 is taxes. Chapter number 6 is freedom and financial freedom. Freedom and financial freedom. That's chapter number 6. Chapter number 7, 3 enemies to you winning the money game. 3 enemies to you winning the money game. You need to know what those 3 enemies are. Chapter 8 is 3 things we must understand. 3 things we must understand. That's chapter number 8. Chapter 9 is 4 parts to your economy. You have an economy. IG, you have an economy. Everybody on Facebook, YouTube, in X, you have a personal economy. And when we start looking at our income as an economy, then we'll approach it differently. Then we're on the pathway of taking financial responsibility. And I talk about that here in the book. Chapter 10, what is your God-given financial potential? Listen to that. What is your God-given financial potential? That's chapter number 10. There's science behind that chapter, that number 10. 10, okay? So chapter number 11 is what is your financial freedom number? Not how to become a multimillionaire. Not how to make $10,000 in 5 minutes. Freedom, financial freedom. What is your financial freedom number? That's number 11. Chapter 12 is consumer versus investor. Consumer versus investor. Chapter number 13. What are you focusing on? What you focusing on? Right? Where focus is, clarity is. Where attention goes, where energy flows, attention goes. Where attention goes, energy flows. All right? That's 13. Remember, there's 19 chapters. 14 is you must answer these questions. You must answer these questions. Talk about the questions here. Chapter 15, 5, how many? 5 myths about money. 5 myths about money. Things are not true. 5 things that are not true about the money game. About the money game. chapter 16 is 3 ways you're not playing the money game right. In order to play it right, you got to know what you're doing wrong. You have to know what you're doing wrong. 3 ways you're not playing the money game right. 17, 4 ways to win. How many? 4 ways to win. Chapter 18 is your perception of money is all wrong. Your perception of money is all wrong. Chapter 19, this thing called freedom. There's 3 chapters. I haven't gone back just from what I remember. 3 chapters that talk about freedom. You know what you call that? Call that a hint. Call that a clue, right? So chapter number 19, this thing called freedom. The bonus chapter is entitled The Government of America. And then your resources, Black Economic Empowerment Pledge, and then each chapter has subchapters or subsections. That was perfectly done. I did that purposely. So you're just not reading just continuously, page after page after page, right? You're reading it in subsections, title and then subsections. That way it's easier for you to remember. It's easy for you to recall. It's easy for you to comprehend a concept when it's in bite-sized pieces. There's a science to learning. There's a science to comprehension. Okay, and I learned these things over the year by God's grace, by Allah's grace. My parents, my mom, my dad put me in private school. Went from private school from 8th grade all the way to sophomore in high school. So that's a pretty sound education, private school. All right. So that's the table of content. Approach it a certain way. You approach it with an open mind and no preconceived notions. That's how you can maximize information. I learned something way back 30 years ago when I first got started in real estate investing, first started learning about it, right? I heard a guy say, he said, if you can get one idea that can make you $10,000, then it was worth the course. It was worth the training that you had to pay for. It's worth it, brothers and sisters. It's worth it. See, so that's why we have to have a pair. This book is designed to get you started. This book is designed to cause a paradigm shift, to have you look at something, money, in a very different way, right? It's designed so you can say, I never looked at it that way, but that makes sense. It makes sense. All right. That's what this book is written of. You're reading how it's written. It's designed that way because that's been my experience. I'm sharing with you what I've learned along the way of my 40-year journey on this money thing, this money game, intentionally participating and learning about the money game. Intentional. If you're not doing it intentionally, then you're not playing to win, surely not playing to dominate. Right? Everything has to be intentional around money, not making money, the whole game, not just one component of a game. You cannot be good at one thing, that has multi dimensions to it and win and dominate. You got to be good at a lot of stuff. Your understanding has to be good. So, brothers and sisters, go to themoneygamebook.com, themoneygamebook.com. All right. That's where I want you to go. That way you can put your name, your email address. I can get it. We can stay in contact. And I'm going to give you 2 free gifts for doing that. One is an audio entitled The Money Game. So you can download and listen to it today. So you get an idea. What does Daryl mean? What does Brother Daryl mean when he says the money game? Right? Just like if somebody say love, the question would be, what do you mean about love? What do you mean by love? What does love mean to you? I'm hungry. What does hungry mean to you? Hungry means something different to everybody, right? So you get that audio, it'll prepare your mind and get you an idea of the perspective I'm coming from, right? Page 2, you'll be able to order the book, page 2. And then the second gift you're going to get is sometime here in the next month or so, couple of months. We'll see how it goes, but we're going to have a master class, a private master class where we can talk about the book. Those of you who got the book, who read it, come with your questions, right? But it's only for those that's on that list. Only for those that give me their name and email at themoneygamebook.com. All right. Because it's not about a get rich quick. It's not about, one thing gonna fix it. See, that's part of what has to change. right? We have to understand the dynamics of what it takes to win and dominate at the money game. And it's not what you think. It's not what the society has taught you and I. I know that for sure. And that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get more of the same warmed over, just regurgitated by me. This book is not like 99.9% of any other book that you've ever read about money. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that, brother. So, brothers and sisters, so go to themoneygamebook.com, get your 2 free gifts. Then on page 2, order the book, get the book, and be ready for the live call, the master call. And it's going to be private just for those folks on the list. All right. So let me excuse myself so I can go and eat. I can have my iftar. And we'll see you, God willing, Saturday. We'll be back Saturday. Remember, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. We're coming live just until a lot, gives me something else to do or, whatever. All right. We got some things that's cooking. And inshallah, real soon, I'll be able to make a major announcement. All right. And then I'm going to start sharing with y'all some merch. We got some merchandise, right? Go to themoneygamebook.com/merch, MERCH, merch. All right. And we're going to start promoting that so y'all can get your coffee cups, your hoodie, your shirts, your tees and things of that nature. All right, brothers and sisters. So as always, God willing, we'll see you Saturday. And I'll also see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, and most important, our Black community deserves the very best. So until next time, peace.